D, S, always S, of course S. A, hey, I got some style. 5 of 5 stitches, 5 out of 5 stitches, what am I saying? Secrets, that's what the word I was thinking of. Alright. So, I got enough money for an alternate variation, right? Heavy steps, ragged breathing. There isn't much time left. It might already be too late. The labyrinthine pathways of arbitrary sharp turns seemed stranger and stranger as panic blotted out the once deeply ingrained memories that usually guided me. Is this like someone who's dead? Every corner felt a stranger. Every straight line too long. The bell tolls for me. I bit down harder on the last of my rations, held only by the skin of my teeth. It barely hung on as I kept frantically looking around, hoping for the few scraps of burning memory of mine to find a familiar sight that would lead me to salvation. They're looking for a few scraps of burning memory to find a familiar sight leading to salvation. Why is there salvation in your memory? The gates must be closing by now. The gates of hell? Oh gosh. Were people just like locked in here? The last few barely making it. The rest of us never stood a chance. Suddenly, from a blind spot, a figure struck me. There was no time to react before I came crashing down onto the cold, hard ground. I struggled to regain my senses, to at least see what fate would befall me in my final moments, but even in this abyss of endless terror, my mind could never have imagined the horror I witnessed. What? That's not what I expected. What? It's a meet cute! With a robot? Is that me? What is this music? I should have... This is such a trolly game? I was taking this seriously. Am I still supposed to take this seriously? Am I being punished for being invested? What the hell? It's literally a meet cute. Oh, I dropped my guns. Oh, here, let me help pick that up for you. I mean, I dig the fit, I guess. This is just not what I expected. But you're blue, like me. I don't know who I am supposed to be in this, dating simulator? Wait, of course. Of course. It's the levels of lust. Of course there'd be a dating simulator secret. Oof, ow, ouch, that stings. Are you okay? Well, I just got knocked over by some blind by choice asshole who gave my skirt a decorative dirt coating. So all in all, fucking fantastic. Though I prefer not to be on the ground right now. My bad. Help her up. This is hilarious. Hey, sorry about being rude like that. I'm just real frustrated that I'm not only late for school, but also managed to get lost on the way there. So, by the looks of it, you're pretty much on the same boat. And by a stroke of once-in-a-lifetime luck, you just happened to bump into the prettiest girl in town. So how about you lead the way and get both of us out of this jam? Well, according to all that intensity I was reading, I'm lost too. Just my luck. This art. What the hell? Though, in retrospect, I guess you wouldn't be here with me right now if you weren't lost as well. Oh well, no point in crying over spilled blood. There's a lot of that here, let me tell ya. Where the hell are we? Like, I don't know. We might as well just wait for another student to come by and follow them instead. I'm Mirage. Oh, an actual name. Hi, Mirage. Am I actually... I feel like, despite the silly nature of this, I might actually learn something from this. Don't bother telling me your name, though. I don't really care. Just waiting here won't get us anywhere. We should be looking for a way to get to school. Wandering around like headless chickens would only get us even more lost. Since we were both heading to school and ended up meeting right here, that means there's a very high likelihood this spot is somewhere along the way. Therefore, we'll be better off just staying put and waiting for someone who does know the way. It's basic logic. You should look it up sometime. Okay. Anyone who knows the way will already have gone there. Sounds to me like you're just looking for an excuse to give up. Actually, basic logic or not, we're already late and I'm not planning on waiting here till tomorrow morning. Suit yourself. I'll stay here until the heat death of the universe if that means I don't have to run around looking for some magical memory triggering pebble on the ground. Oh, you know what I'm looking for? Like, actually. Couldn't care less about being late for school. School doesn't matter anyway. Is this a memory of mine somehow? Maybe that's how it's incorporated into the lore? Nothing does. I mean, really, take a moment to think about it. The human mind, in its complete vastness, is capable of recognizing its utter helplessness and uselessness in the face of inevitable and unavoidable non-existence, but is incapable of... incapable of coming to terms with it. We can only ever ignore it, hide from it, or temporarily escape from it. But the fact is that we are bound to the way of all things. Death is unavoidable, not only to us, but all that exists or ever has existed. I mean, I feel like I've come to terms with, like, death and the end of the universe and the heat death end of the universe. So I don't know what you mean, like, it's incapable of coming to terms with it. Every living being will eventually die out. Every speck of matter will eventually wither away and dissipate into entropy. True! It doesn't matter if you lived a good life or if you left a legacy behind. It doesn't matter if humanity survives for 1,000 years or dies out tomorrow. The end result is the same, the absolute nothing. Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, you're smart. Human intelligence is far beyond that of other animals, but it would be misguided to consider that a gift. I guess some people could see it as a gift, some as a curse. All other beings have the gift of ignorance, of not understanding what we do. Wow, you're really like... You've really thought this through, Mirage. Our intelligence is not a gift. It's a flaw. It's an overextension of evolution. Intelligence, once a great feature in aeons past, continued to grow unchecked and unfiltered, and has since passed a threshold whereupon it is no longer a benefit, but an active danger to its host. Much like the Irish elk, a species of deer that... Ooh, Irish. Alright, we're bringing in real-life Earth lore. The Irish. Top of the morning to you, laddies! Sorry, I don't know why it got into me. I swear, I'm just invested in Ultrakill lore. I had to summon the Irish in me for a second. Sorry if I'm ruining the intensity of the moment. Much like the Irish elk, a species of deer that, through uncountable generations of evolution, grew antlers so wide and vast that it could no longer run from predators, eventually leading to extinction. The human mind is an evolutionary maladaptation caused by going too far in a direction that was once beneficial and will, sooner or later, lead to our extinction. I mean, that's certainly a theory. On an individual level, it's already happening. True. Existential dread is already taking hold. I'm sure you felt it too. I mean, maybe once or so often. The pain and fear of being nothing, becoming nothing. The suffering of understanding that. We are unable to come to terms with it, so we hide from our own intelligence. Okay, I'm curious on your theory of unable to come to terms with it, because I, in my personal life, I feel like I have come to terms with that. You can tell me if you think that's wrong, and if you think I'm just somehow like categorizing it away in my mind, hiding it, not confronting it for what it is. Maybe you're making some sort of assumption here, like that I would be acting in a certain way, or humans would act in a certain way if they have come to terms with it. Like maybe we wouldn't be aspiring for meaning, or we wouldn't be aspiring for legacy. But in that carries the, I guess like the assumption that a human who has come to terms with it would be able to find meaning in the midst of existential dread anyway. I exist here and now already. And maybe it doesn't really matter to me that all that exists will be no more. Like, why would I concern myself with later existence when I'm the one here existing now? I don't know. You're kind of losing me a little. Unless, like, even if you're saying, like, oh, I'm hiding it away, refusing to confront it, I would still say, like, that's at least, like, I don't know. Wouldn't you at least say that's ignorance? Maybe I'm sorry. I'll shut up. This is probably just a memory I'm this person or whoever has found in this labyrinth and can't escape hell. Has like this is probably something they struggle with. That's my guess so far. We set limits. Oh, is that what you mean? Yeah. We stop ourselves from thinking deeply about what will happen when we die. Okay. Yeah. I guess it makes sense you're going there. Okay. Like, am I stopping myself? Like, here, let me think deeply real quick about what will happen when we die. Like, I don't know, I'll rot. I'll go into a grave, probably. Maybe I'll be burned. I don't know. I don't have any preferences. My body becomes nothing, I wither away. Civilization will eventually one day fall, as it cannot last forever, and may yet forever, last into the stars and beyond, I say, but who knows how long, that'll actually last. Whether there be life on other worlds, or whether there be life, only on ours, which, doubtful, but assuming there's intelligence elsewhere out in the universe, they will continue to continue until they too rot and die. All the energy in this universe will be used up. It's gonna I don't remember. I watched a YouTube video about it once. For what? It's just gonna be a nothing. I think basically, heat death of the universe, and it'll just be nothing forever. But I feel like it's just so much nothing. It's not why do you want me to think about it? There's so much stuff now. Genuinely, I mean, here, I don't know, I feel I don't know, say a day passes in your life and nothing happens. You ever gonna remember that day? No. It's not really worth thinking about, and nothing happened that day. So why would I think about, the nothingness and meaninglessness of everything? It's literally, yeah, sure, all life is meaningless, but, there's meaning here and now to me, and to people, and all that is the future of all of that is just a bunch of nothingness. It feels like that's not worth thinking about. It's meaningless. I mean, I look, I get that some people really do struggle with existential dread, but this is kind of just my perspective on it. I used to, if I want to be serious for a second, especially after I left my religion, I sort of lost my faith in everything. My biggest hang up on me wanting to cling to faith at all was the fact that it meant everything would be doomed to oblivion. And ultimately I came to terms with that. I mean, you kind of have to. But also what really got me to come to terms with that was Outer Wilds. And I won't say more about that, because if you haven't played Outer Wilds, you should watch Outer Wilds. But yeah, Outer Wilds was kind of the Kickstarter to my whole resolution regarding this matter, existential dread. But I did genuinely struggle with it, so I don't want anyone to try and argue with me about why, especially with depression, it can be really unsatisfactory of an answer to just know that, why do anything, to be so pessimistically nihilistic like that, I guess. But I know that struggle, and I guess I've gone through it. I feel like I'm clearly in a much better space now. But even then and again, I feel like maybe what Mirage is saying is, it's just not landing with me, but I can understand where you're coming from. Also, during that entire whole talk that I just went through, I want to mention that when Mirage here is speaking, she says, we are unable to come to terms with it. When I assume we're still talking about either, I'll have to look back at editing. I assumed humans. Maybe they're just talking about intelligent beings now, and that's why Mirage is including themselves. But I was pretty sure we're talking about humans as a species. You don't look human, so I'll circle back to that later. We create distractions. We keep our minds busy with mundane activities and entertainment to stop ourselves from having to come face to face with the truth. Okay, well now that is a bit more relatable. Not in the sense where I don't struggle with existential dread or perhaps like that depression in that same way. I do have depression, but not, I guess it's not existential like that. So not in that way, but I mean just by creating distractions. I've kind of joked about it before a little bit, but it's kind of genuinely true. But part of the reason why I upload so much and edit so much and record so much, like on a daily basis, it ramped up one day to a daily basis. And part of the reason is because I always got something to be doing when I'm not working, as a distraction from, everything else I got going on with me. Yeah, okay, maybe this is getting a little too sad for Ultrakill dating sim. Okay, to be fair, Mirage is the one making it sad. We sublimate it. We transform our self-reflective suffering into another form, art, to keep it from consuming us. Oh yes! I love doing that. Even though I don't make art that much. I have this entire I suck at art, like a lot. I have this journal of just scribbles where sometimes I'm like, I want to communicate a feeling that I'm feeling this night or whatever. And I'm like, I suck. And it would be so much cooler if I knew how to draw. So I kind of just like make scribbles and stuff. It's mostly scribbles because, feelings are scribbles. Anyway, it's so nonsense and it's so not valuable for anything. And I hardly ever even look back at it. But because I suck at any other kind of art or I haven't made games, I haven't written anything, even though I would love to do stuff like that. Because I haven't yet, it's kind of my only way to be doing this, right? We transform our self-reflective suffering into another form of art to keep it from consuming us. And now, I feel like we might be getting extra meta with this. I don't want to put anything on the writer here or the devs, but I hope they're okay too. Anything to avoid the panic. But these ways are all simply temporary. They're just there to push back the inevitable veil of helplessness and despair that would encompass and ruin us. In the end, nothing really matters. I try so hard and come so far. Sorry, I don't actually know that song. I just kind of know it from memes. There's no point in trying to find joy in life, for life in and of itself is suffering. Oh, I get to say you're wrong. Yeah, you're wrong, see? Huh? You criticize those who consider our vast intelligence a gift and yet also misguide yourself to believe our meaninglessness is a curse. How could it not be? Nothing we do matters in the end, and that is precisely why we are not shackled by the burden of expectations, the fear of eternal judgment, or the failure to meet up to an arbitrary definition of what makes our limited time not wasted. Hey, that's one way to look at it. I don't even know if that's the way I was looking at it, but that's one way to look at it. Time cannot be wasted, for there's no greater purpose to life than simply living it. You tell him! But still, in that case, the meaninglessness of our actions draws to the same conclusion. There's no reason to act, for any action is simply a temporary fluctuation that will, nevertheless, lead to the same conclusion. I mean, we can have conclusions now, in between now and the end conclusion. It's about the journey, not the destination. Quite the contrary. Because we have no greater purpose, we are free to set our own, to create self-defined goals for which to strive. For some it may be nothing, for some it may be pleasure, for some it may be creation. Hold on, can I have all three of those? For some it may be improving the lives of others. Actually, that one, we'll put that one at hold on, let me rank these. Tier listing reasons to live. Improving the lives of others. We'll put that up there. Creation, pleasure. Those three are pretty high up there. I love all those. Nothing. We'll put that at the bottom. But it's still a valid reason. No reason. What am I saying? No reason. But it's still a valid purpose. It is because we have no greater purpose that time spent on goals set by oneself cannot be time wasted. In the end, nothing really matters, and therefore you have no reason not to do what you want, rather than whatever illusion of greater purpose is forced on you by others or even your own misguided thoughts. I do understand what you mean. However, that doesn't ease my fear of the end. Well, I'll be here for you. Even if I were to try to find purpose, I would still be paralyzed by the thought of becoming nothing. And it is a thought worth fearing. However, abandoning purpose, hope, choice, goals, pleasure, and will cannot make that thought disappear. The fear, however, can subside. Giving up is not accepting the end, it is simply accepting the fear of it. It is embracing despair rather than facing it. I see. Though as much as I'd like to embrace it, I am nevertheless struck with that paralyzing existential panic. I understand it logically, and I know that there is no reason to live in apathy, but my emotional side refuses to listen. The fear persists, and I cannot motivate myself to seek purpose, despite knowing I must. This is true, the emotional is not controlled by the logical, however they are interlinked. Just as the deepest, darkest depths of despair can overthrow reason and the logical, warping them to fit into that haze of depression, so too can reason influence and overpower emotion, regardless of how impenetrable its defenses may seem. By continually forcing to subvert those creeping negative thoughts with the positive logical ones, the emotional mind will eventually, slowly, gradually start to shape to fit the logical. It is not an easy job. It is not a quick job. It will sometimes feel like an impossible job. However, it can be done. With an immense amount of time, effort, and energy, it will improve. Hey, I feel like I could say this because it did for me, and I explained why. You can change. You can heal. And during the hardest times, when all seems lost and you want to give up, never forget. We will always love you. Okay. Now this feels personal. I'm still wondering the lore implications of the fact that I'm in this dating sim to begin with. I feel like it might be that memory that person was looking for. So maybe this is like someone that they knew in life, and that's why they're talking as if they're a human, but they're represented here as a robot? I don't know. We will always love you. Whoa! My screen got bigger. Well, I'll be damned. Guess you got a good head on your shoulders after all. Hell, I'm impressed. Man, I feel like I've just shed the weight of the world off my back. Or rather, you've done that for me. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You've given me a lot to think about, and while I'm sure I have a long and hard road ahead of me, I'm optimistic. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, I'm optimistic. Say, we're already way too late for school, and it's become quite clear by now that nobody's going to come lead us there. So how about you and I ditch that passion-draining penitentiary and go grab something to eat, eh? I'm still kind of mad at you for how rude you were to me? No. Yeah, sure. I've got nothing better to do today. You're paying, though. Oh, you sneaky bastard. But alright. I do owe you one anyway. So what better time to cash out your did a nice thing to a girl way out of my league coupon than now, eh? Yep. I love girls. All imperfect love song. Well. That's pretty cool, I guess. Alright, last level. Alright, so, first thing I want to do, because I forgot, actually let's read this. Sliding will retain previous momentum for short amounts of time. Chaining quick slide jumps after a dash jump will give you incredible sustained speed. Alright, that is cool. Anyways, I want to actually put this as 2 and you as 3, because I'm using marksman the least, and, you know, I might want to shoot to a revolver every once in a while, right? Oh, I can set like different speeds and stuff. Oh, this is cool. All right. Oh, we didn't get the intro yet. I love when they wait on the intro. Lust. Climax. Court of the Corpse King. Alright, we're stopping off here. Hold on. Keep your hands and feet inside the cart at all times. Anything this way? Secrets? Nope, not secrets, but blue skull. So if this is the last one, I don't think there would be secrets in this one. I mean, secrets as in like stuff I can find out about the lore, stuff I can find about anything. This looks like a bus station, by the way, which actually reminds me of, because these chairs, when I first saw them in the horror level, they reminded me, right? I thought they were like church pews, but I think here, this kind of reminds me more of like a station. Although church pews, I guess, would be vaguely fitting the theme still. Am I opening the door? I see. Okay, checkpoint. Nothing interesting. Okay. So we're running this way. I should stop looking for secrets. I'm gonna keep looking out for secrets just in case. But I think this is just what I think it is. Smile OS. Why is this my OS? And why does... I should ask more questions about Smile OS. But we're not there yet. Alright. We're all aboard the train, I guess. Please let there just be like a boss at the end of this all. Oh, it's gone out. Please don't be like a horror thing. It's the giant thing! I forgot about you already! It's just your hand! Alright, we're just shooting the revolver. Wait, hold on. Okay. I'm forgetting, like, my... Okay, I died. Damn it. Okay. Ha! This is gonna be tough, isn't it? That's not actually going to be, probably. Like, can I get blood off of you is my question. Okay, I just gotta, like, get better at your attacks. Can I see them ahead of time? I felt like I... Shit. Okay. Yeah, let's just focus on dodging. That's how you win boss fights. Am I really doing that much damage? Oh, shit. Okay, this is gonna get worse. Okay. Okay, my up is not that great. Apparently. How do I get, like, up into the air higher? Like that? Oh, shit. So that's the only one I'm, like, struggling with. Left and right I can go, but I can't just, like, dash upwards. I guess just a straight jump gets me a lot more height than I'm giving it credit for. I'm just, like, doing the wrong inputs. That's what I'm doing. Apparently, I just suck at the correct inputs. See? See, I went left instead of going up. It's really not that hard. Okay. You know what? Maybe it is that hard. Ugh. Let's use my handy revolver. Revolver versus giant hand. I did it! Revolver was the way to go, turns out. I just didn't get much blood off of it. Alright, checkpoint. I'm gonna need this. We're probably gonna need to open more. Can I read about Giant Hand yet? Oh, I didn't read about you yet. I don't know, I can't read about Giant Hand yet. Greater Machine. Rare but extremely dangerous, the Mind Flayer is a machine that has adapted and mastered the use of hell energy alongside its own technological prowess. The machine itself is only the top part of its apparent body, the rest of which is a plastic shell in the form of a human, which they seem to have built themselves. Interesting. It's built itself. Well, I wonder what it used to be used for and now is repurposed for. The plastic body serves no function and is only for aesthetic purposes. Okay, cool. You've got style then. It's a game about style anyway. Despite it being a waste of resources, Mind Flayers will use everything in its power to protect the plastic body from harm, even if that means destroying itself in the process. Mind Flayers seem to prefer a female form, though very rare occasions of male forms have also been recorded. Okay, cool. When encountering a Mind Flayer, it's imperative to keep track of their actions, either through visuals or audio. Due to their homing projectiles being fired in a burst, safe explosion. Okay, I wasn't gonna read all this. I just wanted their lore. Alright, cool. Let's go get our red skull from not here. Somewhere around here, though. Oh, I could change... You know what? I might do that. I liked my revolver. So you know what? We're actually bumping this up to number 1, and then you're at number 2. So this is my number 2 now. I love this, but I do have to change what I do eventually. Also, this is a great level to practice what they told me that trick was. Right? Hold on, ready? Look at that, see? Nope. Hold on. Yeah, okay, whatever. Nothing. How do I get the red skull yet? Maybe it's just down here? I don't know. I'll keep going. Anything? Okay, fine, we're backing up because I didn't see anything. I can't, like, explode stuff open, I guess. Also, can I watch it get electrocuted? No. Wait, I can just walk this way. I am blind. What the hell? What is this even gonna do for me, then? I'm not blind, I'm just stupid. Okay. The corpse of King Minos. Oh, you're dead. Okay. You know what? Shoot. How do I get blood off of you? I'm gonna shoot your eyes. I am almost dead. Oh god, he has health. So much health. Isn't King Minos like a guy in Greek mythology? Okay, hold on. Darn it. Okay. So are you like an actual like sized guy? And you're just like here and resurrected now? Also, there's a black hole. I am escaping that black hole. I'm trying to tell. I need to get better at reading your tells. So I can avoid them. I do not. Okay, okay, I think my revolver's like. I think my alternate piercer is actually my best one I have for that. This one, my chainsaw's not great because there's not much to chainsaw. So I'm going to bump that up. And also that, to be honest. Nail gun, we'll see, I guess. Deals damage over time, we'll take this. And then we'll bump that up. I got my electric one, but I also got my drill. So I kind of want to see how that works. I fucking missed. Okay, is there anywhere I cannot get hit? Okay, you know what? Never mind. That is literally... So, hold on. I can shoot an explosive, right? If I do this. That will hit you, okay. So that's maybe what I want to be doing with my shotgun. Okay. Damage over time. I love that. There's a black hole. Can I, like, shoot it away? I'd love to shoot it away. I definitely can't. Okay, hold on. I missed. Again. The same way. It's such a giant attack, I kind of can't tell where it's going. Okay, whatever. Hold on. There we go. Maybe my nail gun is actually good here. Okay. My audio stopped for a second. That must have just been a bug. Alright. Change my weapons around a little bit to make sure I know what's going on a little bit. These are the ones I want to do. Okay, we got a black hole now. We'll go in like a little circle. Okay, I got very hit there. Oh, I hit its eyes. I hit its eyes. Okay, hold on. Okay, well I got farther in the fight. I just need to get better at avoiding stuff, I guess. Okay, what the hell is that? Is that like bombs it's shooting at me? If that's the case, I might want that for like deflection. Oh gosh, hold on. I'll have that for possible deflection of those projectiles if I can. I kind of doubt I'd be able to. Out of curiosity, can I just like shoot your hands? I think I can. Like, will I get better damage that way? I don't know. Hold on, hold on. Okay, music keeps stopping. Holy shit, I'm high. Maybe I should be like dash jumping more. See, look, you're hitting the middle, but with your right hand. No one likes that. Okay, now you're your left hand, but you also hit the middle. Is that just because I'm in the middle? Do you ever hit the sides? That would mean no, you hit the side, but with the. Okay, whatever. Whatever, hold on. Okay, parry! Okay, shit, I got totally hit there. Okay, I got hit there. No, I didn't get hit there. But I could have got hit there. Did I get him? Did I get him? Did I get him? Huh. The corpse of King Minos. Aren't you the one... Wait a second. Okay, that was loud. Aren't you the one in mythology with the Minotaur maze? Because, if so, that dating simulator was talking about running through a labyrinth-themed maze. I might be getting them mixed up. I mean, I know Midas is the gold touch, but I think King Minos is the one who had the Minotaur. And this is the corpse of Minos. Can I read about him now? Surely, now that he's dead. The corpse of King Minos. Once the great and beloved king of the Lust Layer, Minos has now been reduced to a shambling corpse. Yeah, with barbed wire all over the place. Due to his incredible power of will and status as a just ruler in life, remembered even millennia after his death, the manifestation of his soul is the largest husk to ever have been recorded. Small traces of the original soul can still be detected in the body, but the corpse itself is animated and controlled entirely by the snake-like parasites that he once commanded. Despite once bringing upon the renaissance of the Lust Layer, his corpse now only seeks sinners to punish. Oh, so there's parasites now, majority that are controlling him. Oh, yeah, that's what I saw when, like, those skull things or whatever that were shooting at me. So in this world, he was a just king, but then he died and went here, I guess. Huh. Well then. Time to go. Oh, does that give me knockback? That's good to know for future movement attempts. D. 17 restarts. Parry a punch? Like one of his punches? That seems impossible. Well, we got 2 more layers. I don't know. I guess I got the secret mission. I don't know if there's more secrets. I feel like there were more secrets in Limbo. Because I had to go back and redo some things, you know? That was pretty cool. But now I feel like maybe I'm missing out on these stuff. Oh, hey, look, sheer heart attack. It's got hearts there. Also, they said Renaissance of the Lust Layer. So, does that mean when you were alive, you were in the Lust Layer of hell as well? But you died, and so you physically manifested as a demon, which created you as a giant. And then you died. Maybe that's the case. Like, you only became giant after you died, but you lived and died in hell? I am probably overthinking this so much. Well, Gluttony's next. We made it through lust and pleasure, and I barely made any references. I made less references to sex than I thought, and a lot more discussion of depression and existential dread than I thought. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.